Hi there guys, it's Martyn here, and welcome to another little bonus video, and this is once again revolving around the medium of cassette tapes. As you can see behind me, there is a big wall of cassette tapes that I have accrued, and cassette tapes are a very interesting medium. I have made a sort of beginner's guide to cassette tapes earlier. I made that a while back, so if you haven't seen it, I thoroughly recommend that you check that video out first. But today, I mean, cassettes are slowly coming back. I mean, I own a Sony Walkman F1, which also has a radio on the top, and this plays all your cassette needs, and you can listen to classic albums like Michael Jackson's Thriller on cassette, and even now some new albums are being released on cassette. For example, this, I have Lewis Capaldi's album, Divinely Uninspired to a Hellish Extent, which actually, I'll show you quickly, comes on a lovely red tape design, and this plays beautifully, and it's so surreal to listen to an album released in 2019 on a machine that's nearly 40 years old. But aside from your main albums, which is what most of this wall takes up, what about the other big part of music? Compilations. Now, compilations have been around since the dawn of the music industry. Compilations of classical music, of jazz, all that sort of stuff, and then we gradually got into the pop scene. Now, the most well-known compilation series, of course, is Now That's What I Call Music, which, if you follow this channel, you should definitely know about a bit about Now by Now with all the Now review episodes. If you haven't, you should check those out. But there are so many other compilations. You know, now you walk into charity shops and you see on CD so many the greatest hits of the 70s, the smoothest hits of this and that. Compilations are endless, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. But there were a lot of compilations released on cassettes as well. Now, recently I accrued a big find of cassette tapes, and quite a bit of those tapes were various compilations that I've accrued a collection of. So I thought what we'd do today is take a look at some of these cassette compilations. So I think to kick things off, you guys might already know a lot about these ones, but we'll get the big hitters out of the way first. And of course, the biggest hitter, as I said, is Now That's What I Call Music. Here's Now 2 on tape, released in 1984. You got pictures of some of the artists there. And what does that say? Is that the 30 top hits or something like that? 30 top tracks? That's the spine of them. They were slammed together, these two cassettes, and you have the track list on here. Now, I find this with cassettes, because my eyes aren't very good, I have a lot of trouble reading sometimes some of the track lists. This one's quite nice because it's white text over black, but sometimes it's a little difficult, I find. But let's open that up. So you got one tape in there, and if I can get the other side open, there you go, you got the other tape in there. Nice and simple. That's Now Music for you. But of course, their main rivals also got in the game, and that was the Hits series. Here's the Hits album 10, which came out in 1989, and this actually features some of the artists on the front, trying to cram as much info as possible on this small cassette box. And I've always liked the logo for the Hits 10, the sort of 10 and half of it's a record. I don't know, I think that's really cool. I like the multicolours as well. Their spines are just, you know, what they are, various artists and all that. And your track list on the back, it's vertical this time, and there's just a little taste of what was going on in 1989, at least with these guys. So there you go. Open that up. Same sort of thing as the Now box. One tape there, one tape there. They did release some of these in like longer box formats as well. That was just a demonstration. Now, after Hits 10, Hits sort of went a bit downhill. Their next release is actually called Monster Hits, and I have it on cassette here. It's 32 hits. You got, I assume, a monster on there featuring all these artists, you see. And how do I know this is the direct continuation of the Hits series? Well, if you look at the spine, it says Monster Hits, and then down there, Hits C11. Whereas Hits 10, of course, says Hits C10. So if you look, that is the direct continuation. This was the 11th release. Hits always had a bit of a branding problem. It went from numbers to Monster Hits to various. It just fell apart, really. And this was released in 1989 as well, I think, or early 1990, and it just sort of lost to Now by then. But that's just an interesting look at where Hits went as a series. Of course, there's one of the tapes, and there's the other tape. So if you like, that was just a little introduction. Now, the rest of the compilation tapes here, I'm going to show you them in alphabetical order, because that's how I've arranged them, and there's quite a few to get through. Those are your big hitters. Let's take a look at the rest. Okay, so kicking things off with the numbers, we have 100 Years at the Movies, which is the BBC Concert Orchestra. It's TV advertised, apparently. A celebration of cinema, and you got some examples there. 40 great movie themes. There's the spine of it, and this is the old BBC logo, so this is pre-1997. I believe it says down here, actually. Where are we? 1996, so just before the big corporate change. So cassette 1 is the movies, and you can see the list of tracks. There's a James Bond medley on there that they basically stick to the 60s, ignoring everything else. Got Dr. Zhivago, The Godfather. Really nice, I think. Then cassette 2 is the musicals, so you've got a lot of musical stuff. I'm guessing they're meaning like the movie musicals, but if you're calling it 100 Years at the Movies, maybe, I don't know. Part of me feels a bit cheated by one cassette being musicals, but hey, what are you going to do? So that is 100 Years at the Movies. And then next up, we're going a bit classical. Here is Bach and selected organ works. You can call this a compilation. I mean, this is the great composers and their music. It's a compilation of Bach's compositions, and full details of the works in the front cover. That's a very snazzy cassette, don't you think? I do like classical music. I don't go after it like purposely, but it's nice to listen to, isn't it? Put that. Actually, let's put them in frame. Why not? Next up, more classical. We have the complete Brandenburg concertos, Volume 2. No less. Don't have any other volumes. There's your cassette. Pretty standard stuff. And then moving on. Yes, these ones. I'll show you together. We have the Breakaway set of albums. There you go. Breakaway. And there's 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll just lay them out here. But if you look, they actually make a set of balloon pictures. I'll anchor that down. I think that's quite nice. Not that you'd really ever display your tapes like this, front-facing, especially if you have a lot of them. But it's a nice picturesque thing anyway. So what's on these Breakaway albums? Well, cassette 1 says 50 original power-packed hits, including Gloria Estefan, Krista Burr, Elton John, Europe, Stevie Nicks, Steve Winwood, Robert Palmer, Level 42, Kate Bush, Toto, and Status Quo. This is released by Teledisc. Now, Teledisc have released numerous compilations over the years on various formats as well. So cassette 1, side 1. Okay, so you got like 80 stuff. There's Elton John's Nikita. So this is just really... It just seems like a mix. I mean, it says Breakaway, but what are we breaking away from? There's a real mix of songs on here, really. And there's cassette 1, side 1 again. The other... Oh, no, side 2's there as well. So these were obviously either packed together or released as separate albums. I'm not sure which. Here's Breakaway cassette 2. And some artists on here. Again, Eye at the Tiger. You got some upbeat songs and then some, like, ballady songs as well. So I'm not really sure what the emphasis of this was meant to be. You know, there's the cassette again. And then cassette 3, who have we got on here? We've got Level 42, Mr. Marillion. I mean, they haven't gone for the obvious hit, like for Mr. There's no Broken Wings on there. Huey Lewis in the News. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff. Cassettes are all the same, as you've probably gathered by now. And on cassette 4, we have the Miami Sound Machining, and we have Earth, Wind and Fire. So mainly 80s based stuff. I'm trying to remember, when did this come out? Let's have a look if there's any info on the cassette. 1992. There you go. So we're into the 90s with the Breakaway set there. We'll put those there. And now moving on to the letter C. Here is The Chart. That's all it's called. It's called The Chart. This is by Telstar, another company known for putting out compilation stuff. Why won't it focus? That's a name. Hit after hit after hit, it says. Let's see, featuring Boris Gardner, Timex Social Club, Modern Talking, Sunita, MC Micah G, and the DJ Sven, and many, many more. I'm trying to pinpoint when this is. What does that say? The chart, and get the chart 86 free. Wow, I'll take that for sure. It's one cassette, not many songs on here, only 8 of them. See, let's have a look. Find the Time by 5 Star. When did that come out? Shout by Lulu's on here. Hold On Tight, Samantha Fox. Okay, so this was around 1986. Oh, no, wait, there's more songs on side 2. That's nice. Oh, 15 songs total then. That's not too bad. Love Zone by Billy Ocean. I quite like that one. That's a good song. Let's have a look at your cassette. Nice and simple. Just The Chart. Can't get more blunt and on the nose than that. And like it says, here it is, The Chart 86. And of course, well, what does this say? Get the Chart 86 and get the chart free. Wonder what promotion this was. A review of the year's great hits. Okay, so this was definitely 1986. Oh, look, Wham's on there. The Miami Sound Machine. Who's that? Owen Paul, whoever that was. Similar spine. Let's have a look. Oh, so you essentially got 2 albums for the price of 1 back in the day. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think I like the cassette, the chart one even better first. So That's the chart 86. So after all this is our first batch of compilations. Let's see what we have next. Alright, next batch. Let's start with Chart Attack. And there's a big fist because it's being attacked. It's a terrible cover. It's Telstar again. There was a sticker there. That's been removed. So let's see, when was this released? Who have we got? Side 1. Nobody's Fool. Star Maker. Past the Duchy on the left-hand side. Love Shadow. Okay, so this looks like about 1983. Hungry Like the Wolf. Duran Duran. So look at that cassette. Oh, feels very homemade. I wonder what this... I was going to say, was this part of something? But no, this is Telstar. Based in London, it says at the time. You know, very interesting. Very novel. Wonder how much that was sold for. Might have been like a budget album. We have next the chart show with Rock the Nation, which says 24 rock hits, including Kiss, Bon Jovi, Whitesnake, Billy Idol, Marillion, Steve Winwood, Pat Benatar, Foreigner, The Cult, In Excess, and Robert Palmer. The chart show. Was that I mean, obviously I wasn't alive back at the time. Was this a TV program, radio program? Let me know. So, Crazy Crazy Nights, Addicted to Love, Money Money, Incommunicado. When was this? Wanted Dead or Alive. Oh, this is 86 again, is it? Or 87? Is this Love, Whitesnake? The Cars Drive? Oh, no, is this just a compilation then, maybe? I think. Oh, no, who's that down there? If I can do my cam work. Dover Records. Okay, it was Dover Records. Let's open this up. Right, let's see when this bad boy came out. What's that copyright? 1988, I want to say. Or 86, it's very obscure on there. But yeah, that's Rock the Nation. So if you liked rock back in the day, maybe that was the album to go for. It's the chart show again. And this one says Rock the Nation Volume 2, although it's only a single cassette. This time, In Excess are back on it. New Sensation, Billy Idol, Rebel Yell. Oh, these are the songs. I thought they were just saying In Excess was the new sensation. That would have been a bit odd. Well, Big Love by Fleetwood Mac's on here. That suggests like 87-ish? I don't know. Here's some of your songs. Right, let's open up. Let's see. Give us a clearer date. 1989? 1989. This is by Chrysalis, this one. This tape is. I wonder if they changed hands. So they're a companion piece, which is quite nice. Next up, oh, it's that time. It's Christmas, even though it's not at the time of this video, but we've got 18 original Christmas hits, such as, War is Over, Do They Know It's Christmas? I'm guessing this is all the big stuff. Yeah, War is Over, I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, Merry Christmas Everyone, Step Into Christmas, Merry Christmas Everyone, Wonderful Christmas Time. Yeah, all the classic stuff there for sure. I wonder when this was released, actually. We got a copyright date on this one. 1989. Oh, okay. Well, that's a nice album to have for Christmas, even though it's not Christmas yet at the time of recording. Back to some classical. It's the classic experience. And someone paid $9.99 for this at HMV, or the HMV shop at the time. Nice artwork, but it's the 33 most popular classics. So as you can see, Handel, Sibelius, Ravel, J.S. Bach. Yeah, so a lot of, very prominent bits of classical music. When did this come out? I like seeing when things came out. So $9.99, that's a fair bit of cop. In 1988? Wow, someone paid £9.99 in 1988 money? Isn't that inflation? That'd be a lot more now. So, I mean, props, because I got it for about, 1/10 of that. Anyway, next it's classic rock. So, performed by the London Symphony Orchestra. Oh yes, I've seen these. I think these came out on vinyl as well. So the London Symphony Orchestra performed, well, as it says, classic rock songs. I don't know what that says about rock exactly. This is BP Lifestyle. Okay, nice one. Let's see. We've got the Fanfare Intro, Rhapsody in Black, Reach Out, I'll Be There, Chariots of Fire, Bohemian Rhapsody itself, Baker Street. Oh, I need to listen to this. This might be quite good. Oh, I see the Telstar logo, and this came out in 1988. Again, so another end of... A lot of these are end of the 80s, but I guess that's when cassettes were in, their peak, so it kind of makes sense. And it's the best of classic rock. I'm not sure if this is from the same company. No, it's from K-Tel. K-Tel, they were known for various things, like cheap budget compilations of stuff. But it's the London Symphony Orchestra and the Royal Choral Society. So who is on this one? So you've got a medley, Eye of the Tiger, Whole Lot of Love, Baker Street again, Painted Black. Oh, Rhapsody in Black. Hang on a minute. This track listing is quite similar. I wonder, I'm starting to think, is this a bootleg of this? I'm not really sure. There's some similar track lists. Anyway, Well, let's see, when did this come out? The first one was 1988, and this one, by K-Tel, I can't find a copyright date, god damn it. No, there is no copyright date to be had on here, which is really annoying. No, absolutely zilch. Oh well, I'm sure I could look it up another time. But yeah, very similar themed album. And then the last one of this batch, if you like dance music, well, this is the best dance album in the world ever. And again, someone at HMV back in the day paid $9.99 for this. This was 1993, but I think this is actually worth it. You get 40 tracks on a double album. And this is so hard to read. Why do this? But look, even that first cassette, some great songs. Ride on Time, No Limit, all this sort of stuff. So there's some great dance music of the day as well. 1993, I think I said, was the release date. There you go, there's the cassette. And it's Virgin put this out. So I think these were the same people putting out the Now compilations at the time. So they also put out the best dance album in the world ever, so they claim. So there you go, there is batch number 2 of compilations. Okay, we're on to batch number 3, but we aren't done with dance music. Here is Dance Decade. God, look at that. That's quite intense, isn't it? I can't read that because that's terribly written. Dance hits of the 80s. Oh, okay, then. So, oh, by London Records as well. These guys put out people like the Communards, Bananarama. Yeah, wow, okay. So, oh, this is much easier to read if I don't put the light on it. Well, there you go, Communards, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, The Fine Young Cannibal, Soft Cell, Swing Out Sister. Okay, you can see there's a lot of iconic hits on there. It's also available on LP and specially compiled CD, which probably means it's not every single song on here, which is a shame, but that's how some CDs were done back then. Was this released in 1989, I wonder? Let's have a look. Yep, 1989. Polygram TV. Okay, so maybe this was advertised via the telly. Oh, look, the package design was by the Complete Works. That's interesting. So that's Dance Decade to start this group off. Now we've got Drive Time. 36 of the greatest radio anthems of all time. The Pretenders, Beautiful South, Cher, The Cranberries, Blues Brothers, Tears for Fears. There was a sticker there, you can probably tell. Yeah, so this was put out by Dino Entertainment, and this is a name we're going to see throughout this video because they put out a lot of compilations on cassette. Don't know if it was just cassette or other formats. And this one is nice because it tells you its highest charting position. So, for example, The Living Years by Mike and the Mechanics only hit number 2. I'll Stand By You by The Pretenders, number 10, I think, and so on. So, I don't know, I just like things like this where you actually get to see how well things did, you know, and how successful certain songs were, and how some songs, like that one at the bottom that I can't read, Misurio, I think, as featured in Pulp Fiction, never charted whatsoever. Okay, if that was in Pulp Fiction, this must be around, what, 1994? I think that's when Pulp Fiction came out. What does the cassette itself say? It doesn't say anything. That's very annoying. I could look this up on Google or something, but I'm not going to. Oh, look, you've got a road sign there. But the car's jamming out. That's fun, isn't it? 1994-ish, maybe 1995, but that's a cool one. And look, a sequel, it's Drive Time 2, 40 of the greatest radio anthems of all time. So we've amped the ante here, and it's by Dino Entertainment once again. They've gone this way this time. But yeah, you can still look at how well everything charted, or how things didn't chart back in the day. Again, I just think it's very interesting to see how successful things were, or weren't in some cases. Dino Entertainment, made in the UK. Now, come on, guys. Give us a copyright date. No? Oh, I mean, that's the code. Surely this didn't come out in 1999, surely. Might just be the number. But yeah, Drive Time 2, the sequel to Drive Time. And now it's 32 dynamic disco hits. That's right, Rare Groove. Odyssey, Sister Sledge, Chic, Gloria Gaynor, Jacksons, Shalimar, Kool and the Gang, Earth, Wind and Fire, With the Emotions, and many more. And there's someone with an afro, because what says disco than a big afro, eh? Who is this put out by? Quality, huh? Quality Television. Okay, maybe this was TV advertised as well. So who have we got? Boogie Wonderland, Shake Your Body. Okay, as you can see, they've stuck to the name. They've got the proper disco hits all over here. There's some great songs on here, actually. Okay, if you like disco, you're going to love this. This one's Falling Out. It begs to be seen. When was this released? By Quality Television. There is no copyright date. Again. Oh, this is frustrating. Again, I could look at this in more depth, and the box might have just broken there, I don't know. No, nothing. Well, this doesn't actually tell me anything, so God knows when this was released. Probably in the 80s or the early 90s. I'll let you do your research if you want dynamic disco hits. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the greatest hits of 1985, a double cassette pack. Where is the other cassette? It's right here. They're two separate. I don't like it when double albums do this, where they split the cassettes into two individual cassettes. I can imagine so many people back in the day probably lost these or only got one or the other. And that says 30 top 10 hits, including 7 number ones. That's quite a mean feat to rival now back in the day. And you've got all the titles of songs there. This was by Telstar again. There's that name. Do they know it's Christmas? Love and Pride. Oh my god, that's too much text to read. You can see some of it at the front. There you go. So you got your Rhythmics, for example, Dead or Alive, Kool and the Gang, Billy Idol, Paul Hardcastle. And there's the second tape as well, just with more details on it. So this is actually quite a solid album. I'm surprised this didn't sort of take off, the greatest hits of whatever. But alas, they will go there. And that will be the end of batch number 3. Right then, batch number 4, we will kick off with the greatest love of all, 24 golden hits. And now here's the weird kicker. It's a Rediscover the 70s, 1972 to 1983. I'm pretty sure that's not part of the 70s. I don't know who designed that. That's so silly. That is the... oh god, I think it says Gold Collection. I can't read. Oh, you can read it for me. Old Gold, maybe? Disco tapes. Yes, Old Gold. I was right. The original hit recordings, including Daniel, Barrett and John. Okay, Without You, The Greatest Love of All, Forever Autumn. I really can't read, as you can see. Let's have a look then. There you go. Cassette 1, side 1. I got a very eclectic mix, but again, this isn't rediscovering the 70s. Unless... oh, and 80s. Well, that's not what this says. Eh? It should say 70s and 80s there, silly thing. When was this released then, I wonder? Copyright date 1989. Okay, by Old Gold Records. Oh, anyone was making a company back then, weren't they? Okay, that's from Old Gold. And now you have... what's this? The greatest sounds on soul? What the hell does that say? The greatest hounds of soul? What does this say? The greatest... oh, it doesn't... moments in soul. I hate this scriggly bright and I can't read it. 18 soft soul hits, including Michael Bolton, George Michael, Lisa Stansfield, and the list will go on. There you go. Too Blind to See It, Tender Love, Greatest Love of All, Make It On My Own. Okay, is this the... yeah, this case is like jammed shut at the minute. I'll open that later. But you can see it's from 1992. So that's a neat little tape to have if you can find it for dirt cheap. I like my soul music. Speaking of, here's Heart and Soul 3. I don't have Heart and Soul 1 or 2. They weren't included as part of the bundle I got. But hey, here's Heart and Soul 3. It's a heart full of soul. You don't say. It's got Tina Turner, Michael Jackson, the Commodores, Trent D'Arby, I think that's how you pronounce it, Otis Redding, Stevie Wonder, Alexander O'Neill, and Natalie Cole. Very illustrious image there. 18 classic soul cuts. Who put this out now? Oh, they thought the image was so good to slap it on again. I'm not too sure at the minute. But yeah, so what we got? Sign Your Name, you got Easy, you got Love Don't Live Anymore. What's the Michael Jackson one? I bet it's a Motown one. Oh, it doesn't say there. Damn. Let's open it up. Is that side 2? Yes, there's side 2. I bet it's not an Epic one. I have CBS one. Yeah, Farewell My Summer Lover Motown one. Epic, CBS, Sony, whoever, we're never going to license that. When did this come out then, eh? Let's have a wee little look. So, this compilation, 1990, Polygram TV again. Okay, they like their compilations. I often wonder how well these sort of compilations did, these like random ones. But now let's move on to Hits for Lovers. It's a very strange image. In fact, they don't look like lovers at all. This is just a very strange cover for an album, I think. Hits for Lovers. It's the least loving image ever. Well, there you go. This one was released by Epic, funnily enough. Let's open it up. Let's see what we got. So we've got Saving All My Love for You. See the Day, What's Love Got to Do with It? Sexual Healing. You got quite a lot of stuff. This looks like 1985, I'm going to say. 1986. 1985, there you go. That's a very beaten up tape. But yeah, surprising Epic Records put out a cover like this. That is really, I think, the worst cover for an album I've ever seen, especially when it's called Hits for Lovers. Next, we have Hot Summer Nights, as seen on TV. Well, I never saw it. 20 sizzling tracks featuring Billy Ocean, Cliff Richard, Wham, Beach Boys, Hot Chocolate, Katrina and the Waves. Now, this was part by Stylus Music. I have one other record by them, which is a Michael Jackson Megamix compilation, which it says Megamix, it's just the Motown hits, but that was quite good. So I imagine this might be quite good too. But who have we got? So you got Caribbean Queen, Lovely Day by Bill Withers, Give It Up, Hot 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 by Arrow, Hot Chocolate, You Sexy Thing. Okay, so a lot of well-known songs, but again, this would be a good summer album back in the day. When did this come out? My guess is the late 80s. Is he right? Well, you can't really tell because it's all been rubbed away. This happens sometimes on cassettes. They sort of get worn away. Yeah, who knows when this came out. I'm going to guess the late 80s, though, with what's on there. 87, maybe. Next up, we have Love by Candlelight. And I wonder why this cover was chosen to sell copies, maybe. 12 all-time classic love songs by leading artists. Is that so? Oh, it's by Stiletto. Okay, 1986. Well, what have we got, Stiletto? You gotta give me more than that. Well, this tape just gives you the names of the songs. If you look inside, you got things by Dr. Hook, Peabo Bryson, 3 Degrees, Rose Royce. Okay, so a little... Oh, Bucks Fizz are on there, would you believe? So a lot more unorthodox stuff. When was this released again? 1986. Oh, okay, just seems... few odd selections in there from Stiletto, but hey, there you go. And now we have Moments in Love, as you can see. We're going alphabetical, remember, so we're getting to all the love stuff. Who's this got then? It's got 18 beautiful love songs from Elton John, Luther Vandross, Dionne Warwick, The Style Council, Level 42, Billy Ocean, Gladys Knight, Bonnie Tyler, Air Supply. Who is that? Shy Lights, and many more. Well, would you believe? Oh, this is so hard for me to read. You guys have no idea. I'll let you read this one. But from what I can see, there's some pretty good tracks on there. Suddenly by Billy Ocean's a good one. Mr. Mr. Broken Wings. When was this released? Give me a copyright date, please. No, you don't want to do it? It might be on the back of the box. Actually, let's have a look. 1996. I found you. 96. Okay, mid-90s tape there. But now, what are you feeling? Moods. Just moods, that's all it is. Balloons, an eye, and someone standing. A contemporary soundtrack, it says, featuring Enya, Elton John, and all these other people. I'm not going to read it. I think my voice is getting tired. Who put this out? Virgin. Oh, okay. Virgin put this out. Song for Guy Elton John. Strange choice. That was from 1978, I think. Okay, so contemporary in what sense, I wonder. 1991 release from Virgin there. And look, they made a sequel. New Pure Moods, in case there weren't enough moods for you. I really like this cover, though. It's quite cool. Double cassette of contemporary themes, it says. Dodges that a bit. So, a lot of the songs actually repeat, funnily enough. This is 2 cassettes instead of 1, but Song for Guys there again. Sadness by Enigma was on the first release, and it's on here as well. But I've listened to all of this, and this is actually a really nice double album to listen to. If you want a lot of chilled out music, then I definitely recommend this. And this was actually released in 1997, so a full 6 years after Moods 1. So yeah, there you go. That is batch number 4. Alright then, batch number 5. We will start with More Than a Feeling, which is actually 1 of 3. So let's bring out the other 2. Sadly, unlike Breakaway, they just go for the same cover, which can be a bit confusing, like unless you have the spines. But hey, I've got all 3 of these. It's 50 sensational hits. Who put this out? Teledisc, of course, the same people who made Breakaway. That makes sense. Queen, Tina Turner, Marillion, Tapao, Roxy Music, Boston, Elton John, Eric Clapton. Yes, okay. So, a lot of interesting songs on here. Really good ones as well. More Than a Feeling. I guess they were going for emotional songs. Some of the songs here do appear on Breakaway as well. I guess Similar Rights, etc. Let me have a little look at that list there. And then cassette number 3 also has some great songs on here as well. I'm just going to quickly check when was this released, because Breakaway was 92, wasn't it? This is 91. Okay, so More Than a Feeling actually came first, compilation-wise. Is that cassette 3? No, that's C. This is what I mean about getting them mixed up. So that is More Than a Feeling up there. Now we have the Premiere Collection, the best of Andrew Lloyd Webber, the original recordings of Phantom of the Opera, Evita, Cats. What does that say? Tell Me on a Sunday, Song and Dance, Jesus Christ Superstar, Starlight Express, Variations, Requiem. Some of these I'm not too familiar with. I like my musicals, but I'm not familiar on all of these. So this might be a good one if you really like musicals, obviously, or it's also available on albums, so, you know, a vinyl or a compact disc. When did this come out then? This is 1988 from the Really Useful group. Really useful if you're a musical fan, that's for sure. Now then, from Dino Entertainment, our friends from Drive Time, we have Rock and Roll Love Songs. Oh, look, they're in love. So this is like stuff from the 50s and 60s, for example. So I'll let you read. They don't have the chart positions of these, which is a bit of a shame, I think. So let you read that a little bit. There you go, I'll zoom in for you. There you go, a lot of great hits from days gone by. This has a copyright date, this is 1990, okay. And 1990 for this compilation. So if you like your older hits, I'm going to put that down there. No, should I put it up here? If you like your older hits, that's the one to go for. Now we have the, let me just check I get the title right, the best rock ballads in the world ever. And there's a road to the earth, great. 40-track double tape. From Martyn, this was $11.99. They're expensive. It's a Virgin compilation. You have Queen, you got Edwyn Collins, you got Mike and the Mechanics. So you got a lot of big artists. Said to Be With You by Mr. Big, what a song that is. There you go, there's all the songs there. And when did this come out? I'm going to guess the late 90s by the design. 1995, there you go. Mid-90s then, close enough. Down you go if you like your rock ballads. And now we have Smash Hits, massive! Smash Hits, if you don't know, was a very popular music magazine way back when in the 80s. 20 groovy chart hits. It was $7.99 back in the day, so this better have been a good compilation. Let's have a gander. Chesney Hawkes, oh lord. The Waterboys, New Kids on the Block. CNC Music Factory. So this must be like 1990 or something. It's 1991. There you go, by Chrysalis Records. Our Smash Hits was still kicking about, but for $7.99, was that quite expensive back then? And last but not least, we have That Loving Feeling. This is Volume 3, 30 All-Time Greats. I sadly don't have Volume 1 and 2. What is it about me just having the Volume 3 of things? Anyhow, it's got George Michael, Elton John, Michael Jackson, etc. Again, I bet that Michael Jackson one is a Motown era one. When we eventually find it, let's just scroll down. One Day in Your Life, yeah, another Motown one, as you would expect. It's Dino Entertainment, actually, who put this out. So this is the third installment. Now, when did this come out from Dino? Damn, they just don't put the copyrights on things, do they? It's not on the box. Not this time. It's got an earlier code than the Rock Ballads one, so I'll say like maybe 1989. And that brings us to the end of batch 5, should I say. So that, guys, is the majority of the compilations that I own on cassette. I do have a few more behind me in the long box format. I showed you more standard box, but I was thinking the video was already getting long enough, and I might save those for another little bonus video just to be like, here's the rest of the compilations. So if you like what you saw today, if you found it interesting, if you're new to cassette collecting, or if you just wanted to see some old compilations, some of which you may have owned yourself, then please leave a like on this video, leave your comments below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next one, I will see you guys next time.